For decades, Pan-American World Airways defined the very essence of global travel. It was an icon, a pioneer, and a symbol of American ambition. But even the mightiest empires can crumble. This is the story of how Pan Am, the undisputed king of the skies, ultimately fell. In 1927, Juan Trippe founded Pan American World Airways with a grand vision, to connect the world through air travel. From humble beginnings with mail routes in the Caribbean, Pan Am quickly grew, pushing the boundaries of aviation with daring flights. Pan Am became synonymous with luxury and sophistication. Its clippers offered unparalleled service, transforming long-distance travel into an exclusive experience. From the Pacific to Europe, Pan Am built a reputation for pioneering new routes and setting industry standards. The introduction of the Boeing 707 in 1958, pioneered by Pan Am, ushered in the jet age. This revolutionary aircraft made global travel faster and more accessible than ever before. Pan Am led the charge, expanding its reach and solidifying its dominance. By the 1960s, Pan Am's network spanned the globe. It was the unofficial flag carrier of the United States, connecting major cities and cultures. Its blue globe logo became a universal emblem of air travel, recognized and respected worldwide. In 1970, Pan Am again broke new ground with the introduction of the Boeing 747. The jumbo jet promised even greater capacity and efficiency. Yet, this massive investment, coupled with rising fuel costs, began to strain Pan Am's financial stability. The global oil crises of the 1970s delivered a severe blow. Skyrocketing fuel prices eroded Pan Am's profit margins, as its vast fleet of jets consumed enormous amounts of expensive kerosene. The golden age of cheap air travel was rapidly coming to an end. In 1978, the Airline Deregulation Act transformed the American aviation landscape. Pan Am, built for international routes, struggled to compete domestically against newer, more agile airlines. Its legacy cost structures became a significant disadvantage. In a desperate attempt to gain a domestic network, Pan Am acquired National Airlines in 1980. This costly merger proved disastrous, riddled with labor disputes and operational inefficiencies. It drained Pan Am's capital without delivering the promised synergy. Throughout the 1980s, Pan Am continued to bleed money. Despite selling off valuable assets like its iconic Pan Am building in New York and its Pacific routes, the airline could not halt the relentless financial decline. The company was in a downward spiral. On December 21, 1988, Pan Am Flight 103 exploded over Lockerbie, Scotland, killing all 259 people on board and 11 on the ground. This terrorist attack, an unimaginable tragedy, shattered public confidence in Pan Am's security and dealt a catastrophic blow. The Lockerbie bombing devastated Pan Am's reputation and finances. Passengers, fearing further attacks, shunned the airline. Lawsuits and compensation claims mounted, pushing the already struggling carrier further towards the brink of insolvency. In August 1990, the invasion of Kuwait and the subsequent Gulf War sent shockwaves through the global economy. Oil prices surged, and international travel demand plummeted. For Pan Am, heavily reliant on overseas routes, this was a final, crushing blow. With fuel costs soaring and passenger numbers dwindling, Pan Am's planes flew half-empty, or not at all. The once bustling international terminals became ghost towns, a stark visual representation of the airline's rapidly deteriorating fortunes. To raise desperately needed cash, Pan Am was forced to sell its lucrative Pacific routes to United Airlines in 1985. This divestment, while financially necessary, stripped away a significant portion of its global identity and future earning potential. As losses mounted, Pan Am made another painful decision in 1991, selling its highly profitable transatlantic routes, including its coveted London Heathrow slots, to Delta Air Lines. This was a clear sign of the airline's terminal decline. Pan Am engaged in frantic, last-ditch negotiations to secure new investors and avoid collapse. Various rescue plans were proposed, but the scale of the debt, coupled with the ongoing impact of the Gulf War, made any viable solution increasingly elusive. On January 8, 1991, American World Airways filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection. It was a formal acknowledgement of what many had long feared. The once invincible airline was now fighting for its very survival in a legal battle. Throughout 1991, Pan Am continued to operate a skeleton service, clinging to hope for a miraculous recovery. Each flight, however, felt less like a journey and more like a farewell, as the airline's future grew increasingly bleak. On December 4, 1991, after 64 years of operation, American World Airways ceased all flights. The last Pan Am flight, from Bridgetown, Barbados to Miami, marked the definitive end of an era. The blue globe stopped spinning. Despite its collapse, Pan Am's legacy as a pioneer remains indelible. It introduced the jet age, the jumbo jet, and set benchmarks for service and global reach. Its innovations fundamentally shaped modern air travel as we know it today. Pan Am's fall served as a stark lesson in the volatile economics of the airline industry. It paved the way for a more fragmented and competitive market, where financial agility and adaptability became paramount for survival against new challenges. Even decades later, the Pan Am name evokes a powerful sense of nostalgia and a bygone era of glamour. It represents the romance of early global exploration and the ambition of human connection, a symbol that transcends its corporate demise. The collapse of Pan Am offers critical insights into the perils of deregulation, unsustainable expansion, and failing to adapt to changing market forces. It stands as a powerful reminder that even the most iconic enterprises are vulnerable to the winds of change. The dust of history settles, but the stories endure. Pan Am's journey, from soaring ambition to ultimate collapse, remains a compelling chapter in the annals of aviation. A monument to a dream that once touched the sky, and then fell back to earth.